Hello there, and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy, and this morning I'm going to be doing a quick what's in the box kit review for my 172 Tamiya Shinden Kyushu J7W1 Experimental Interceptor. Now this is a vintage kit, obviously, and it comes from a tool that was originally produced in 1965. And basically this box art tells me that it came from roughly 1970. So what we're looking at here is something that's approximately 54 years old, has been passed from pillar to post over those years and has finally landed in my hands, and I'm going to be building it this afternoon. Now this is part of a little series that I'm doing called Land of the Rising Sun Week. As you probably know, we've already built these two kits. They're not quite finished yet, but hopefully I'll be getting them done today. So let's move on and we'll get this box open and see what's in it. So as per normal, I'm going to read the instructions and the blurb that is provided. Oh, but hang on a minute. This one's all in Japanese. There is no English translation. Luckily we do get the titles in English. So we've got Kyushu Shinden Experimental Interceptor, painting and applying decals, and Interceptor Shinden. Everything else is in Japanese. So I'm going to have to refer to Wikipedia for just a little brief history of this aircraft. Just let me get it up. And here we go. The Kyushu J7W Shinden, translated to Magnificent Lightning, that's a good name, is a World War II Japanese propeller-driven prototype fighter plane with wings at the rear of the fuselage, a nose-mounted canard and a pusher engine. Developed by the Japanese Navy, or IJN, as a short-range land-based interceptor, the J7W was a response to Boeing B-29 Super Fortress raids on the Japanese home islands. For interception missions, the J7W was to be armed with four forward-firing 30mm Type 5mm cannons in the nose. The Shinden was expected to be a highly manoeuvrable interceptor, but only two prototypes were finished before the end of the war. A jet engine powered version was considered, but never even reached the drawing board. Now, I'm reading this directly off Wikipedia, so I'd highly recommend you have a quick look at it. It does actually, I'm flipping down to the bottom here, and it says, surviving aircraft. The two prototypes were the only examples of the Shinden ever completed. After the end of the war, one was scrapped. The other was claimed by a US Navy Technical Air Intelligence Unit in late 1945, dismantled and shipped to the United States. The sole surviving J7W1 was reassembled but has never been flown in the United States. The US Navy transferred it to the Smithsonian Institute in 1960. Its forward fuselage is currently on display at the Stephen F. Udvar Hazy Center Annex at Dulles Airport of the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. According to the NSAM, miscellaneous parts are stored at Building 7C at the older storage annex facility, the Garber facility in Sweetland, Maryland. A replica of the J7W1, built by then unknown production company, was unveiled at the Takahara Peace Memorial Museum in July 2022. The company was later revealed to be Toho Studios, with the replica being made for the production of Godzilla -1 in 2023. And there is a picture of the full-scale mock-up on Wikipedia, and it does look rather cool. So okay, back to our what's in the box. As is normal with these vintage Tamiya kits, we get ourselves one of these rather dashing display stands. I kind of like these. I think they probably need to be painted up, but I have been building these and using them, and I like them. So that's our first part out of the way. As we can see, a lot of the parts have come to me actually off the sprue. I'm pretty sure they are all here. So we'll start with looking at the wings here. As we can see, the wings are detailed. There are rivets and panel lines on this, as you kind of expect from a quality manufacturer like Tamiya. Though I can confirm the rivets are very, very pronounced and very, well, they seem quite large to me. Obviously, we get some manoeuvrable flaps here, and the inboard ones are just fixed. There's no real deepness or detail to the cavity where the undercarriage sits, which is a bit of a shame, but I mean, this is 50 years old, so what do you expect at the end of the day? And here we can see we've got the tail planes, or the tail planes here at the front and rear ones. So that's that little part out the way. Here we have the upper section of the wing, which has this, well, I haven't really tried putting this together yet at all, but it's got this rather interesting hole in the centre. So obviously, yeah, something's going to happen here with something. We'll find out when we build it together at the end of the day, but it's kind of an interesting way for it to be designed. Again, we've got the remaining part of the tail plane here, and you can actually see they've actually got little wheels attached to the tail, so it sits on its tail. It's kind of weird. And if you look at the picture, it's got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wheels on it. Kind of bizarre, interesting design. We actually get a little tub of glue. I'm not going to bother trying to use this, as I'm, God, that actually feels still liquid inside. I might have to pierce this and actually see if there's any glue left in here, because that'd be a wonder after 50 years. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-bladed propeller. I've never seen a 6-bladed propeller before. I'm sure most of you have. That does actually have some injector marks on it, but never mind. I'm sure they'll be covered by something. Here we have the engine cover, which is obviously placed at the rear of this aircraft, which we're going to have to get ourselves used to. Something like that. That's obviously where the pilot sits. And I am slightly concerned I don't actually see. I did actually find one on the floor. I don't actually see the cockpit cover, but I did find one randomly on the floor the other day, and I put it somewhere. I'll have to remember where that is and see if it's the one. So hopefully we have actually got that. It's just fallen out of the box. Here we have the 2 manoeuvrable flaps. Not too sure what these pieces are. There's our landing gear and our wheels. That's going to be the innards of our propeller assembly. We have some little covers here for the front. I just said it. The front landing gear. There we go, the front landing gear. And there's the spinner from the propeller. And there's the mountings for our landing gear as well. So there's not that many parts. This is going to go together quite easily, I would assume, if I can kind of get my head around this topsy-turvy sort of way of building a plane, because it's all kind of back to front. Pretty cool. We've got some decals here. They are just basically they're very basic. There's only 6 of them. They're just the Japanese wing logo. They are faded. I've got some out in the conservatory at the moment, which are trying to get some sun on, which are from the older models. So we're going to see how they turn out. I've got plenty of other Japanese, so I'm kind of assuming that I might just be able to pinch some of these out of somewhere else if these don't recover. So there we go. That's our little plan for today. As per usual, I'm going to introduce you to a Japanese treat. Here we have some more mochi, which, if you haven't tuned in before, mochi is a rice cake. We're going to be eating this all day, all week even. I've had these before. They are rather tasty. It's kind of doughy and squidgy. That's kind of nice. Okay, that's kind of good. We had our first taste of sake last night, which tasted like white wine. You're supposed to drink it warm. I kind of want to put it in the fridge. Am I allowed to put it in the fridge? Does anybody know? I don't know. I think we'll move on to the Toki Suntory whiskey and have a few drams of that tonight. As those of you that have been tuning in know, we are actually, I am trying to encourage you guys to get involved by voting for the other 10 or so models that are Japanese that I have in my collection. It does appear that the Gecko is going to win by a fair amount of votes, and that will be what we're going to build tomorrow, I think, unless you guys want to vote on all the others. We have actually got a few other interesting ones, so come on, let's have a few votes. We've got this Kawanishi E15K1 Shion, which is a float plane. That looks pretty cool. We've got this rather nice looking Hayate or Frank by Nakajima KI-84. That looks like a pretty nice plane. I must admit, I really want to get into this Kawasaki Hein. That's a gorgeous looking aircraft. And I really want to have a go at this one as well. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I've got loads of these things. So just give us a vote. And I'll go whichever one you want at the end of the day. So Thursday is still open, but Wednesday we're going to be doing the gecko. So thanks for watching. These munchies are great. Oh my god, have I never discovered these before? They're actually made in Taiwan, which is kind of weird. But hey, all my beer's made in Europe. All my beer has been made in Europe so far, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Questions and suggestions are welcome. Please like and subscribe and join me for my model making ride. And please check out my introductory video entitled Land of the Rising Sun, which I did a few days ago. And that kind of hopefully sort of brings together and explains all this madness if you just randomly found me on YouTube. Be seeing you.